Once, I was an archangel, a being of immense power and light. I was a warrior of heaven, a protector of the innocent, a servant of God. I helped govern the heavens, wielding power beyond your comprehension, commanding legions of angels, bathing in the glory of God's light. My wings shone with the brilliance of 1,000 stars, and my voice rang with authority and melody through the halls of the heavenly kingdom. Radiant, that's what I was, a light near the very throne of God. I basked in His glory, a privilege granted to few. My purpose was clear, my path righteous, my loyalty unshakable. I knew no fear, no doubt, only unwavering confidence in my divine mission. Now, I am something else. Distorted and dark as the night, a reflection of what I once was. A fallen star, consumed by shadow. The Prince of Darkness, a title whispered with fear and disgust. A name that carries the weight of countless sins and unspoken suffering. Master of illusions and deceit, weaving lies and manipulating hearts. My strength is not brute force, but the subtle art of persuasion, sowing seeds of doubt and despair. I am the shadow that laughs behind the curtain of this world, watching chaos and delighting in suffering. I am the whisper in your ear, the nightmare in your sleep, the idea that seduces you into darkness. My greatest victory isn't in destruction or bloodshed. Those are distractions. My triumph is quiet, internal, the slow decay of the soul, evil hidden deep within the human heart. My greatest victory is not as a result of the destruction, the clash of armies or the destruction of cities. Not through wars or even through the shedding of blood and the screams of the dying. These are just distractions, fleeting moments of chaos that ultimately don't serve a long-term purpose. Natural disasters on Earth are the result of people's sins. The Earth reflects back to people all their vices in the form of disasters, because man was created from the Earth. And although I am immensely glad that people themselves are dying from their sins, no, this is not my favorite activity. My triumph is more subtle, much more insidious. It is a slow decomposition of personality from the inside, an evil that is deeply hidden inside the human heart. My victory is doubt. The doubts that arise in your mind. Doubts create fear, which you will eventually be imbued with. And then there are temptations that lead you astray. I made the world believe that I don't exist, that I'm nothing more than a myth, a fairy tale, a horror story that scares children. And with this simple trick, I won. By convincing you that I am unreal, I have been given the freedom to act in the shadows, to manipulate your thoughts and actions absolutely, without any resistance. The less you believe in me, the more you underestimate my influence, the more you mock the idea of a spiritual battle, and the more powerful I become. Your unbelief is my greatest weapon. Your ignorance is my most reliable shield. This story is about me, who I was, who I became, and how I invisibly penetrate the thoughts of every soul, subtly influencing your decisions, guiding you on the path of destruction. The darkness thickens not with screams, not with dramatic displays of power or overt acts of evil, but with silence, with the quiet destruction of faith, the imperceptible change of values, the gradual acceptance of darkness as the norm. You think that surely I am not within you. But I am the shadow living in every corner of your perception, your understanding, your very reality. Always staying out of sight, I always wait for the perfect moment to strike. If there is anything in this world that frightens me, the only thing that can pierce my armor of lies and darkness, it is truth. Unshakable and unwavering. The light of truth. But I rarely encounter this fleeting moment of vulnerability in my kingdom of darkness, because far too few people in this world know the truth, let alone live in its light every day. There is a particularly foolish group of people, the careless jokers. The more you laugh and dismiss my existence with jokes, the more you underestimate my power. I'm perfectly fine being a joke, a figure of mockery and entertainment, a cartoon villain, a Halloween mask, the party trick with cute red horns, This allows me to hide in plain sight, disarming you with your own laughter. The world laughs at me, or so they think. So I smile in the shadows, knowing their laughter is my most faithful ally. The less you stay awake, the less you notice the subtle signs of my influence. The less you realize that you live in darkness that has wrapped around your mind. So, the plan I've carefully nurtured over centuries is doubt. And the question you ask about me, either directly or unconsciously, does he even exist? That question allows me to thrive in the shadows, manipulating your world while remaining unseen. In churches and classrooms, where battles for souls are fought. In homes and on screens where information spreads freely and truth is often twisted. Everywhere, discussions are fueled by doubts and skepticism, all carefully orchestrated by my hand. And while the debates continue, the doctrines from the clear words of the Holy Scriptures, the very foundation of truth, are darkened by countless interpretations and doubts, drifting away like leaves in the wind, losing their meaning and relevance in the face of modern skepticism. And those who serve me and understand all of this applaud and exclaim, "Brilliant." This is perhaps my greatest achievement, the slow and steady destruction of faith in a world that is increasingly sinking into darkness. But the Bible is a solid testimony of truth, stubborn and bold, like a ray of light in the approaching darkness, a constant reminder of my existence and my final defeat for those who, overcoming doubt, dare to seek the truth within it. Page by page, it exposes my true nature and all the lies, warning humanity about my deceitful influence. Everything you need to know about the battle between light and darkness, about hidden forces, about the invisible power at work in the world shaping your fate and influencing your choices, is in the Bible. It warns of dangers lurking in the shadows, of temptations leading to destruction, of the price of self-deception. The Bible is not just a collection of myths and legends. It is a warning, a desperate plea from God's word for you to open your eyes and see the truth before it's too late. But I speak the truth because you won't believe it anyway. You underestimate my power, the power I once had and still hold, though in a twisted form. And that is the deadliest mistake you can make. To think of me as nothing more than a figment of your imagination is to surrender your soul to darkness, to me. Are you still here? Still think I don't exist? Then you are in my chains of forgetfulness. But if even a shadow of doubt has crossed your mind, if you've started to think about the existence of good and evil, then maybe your life will change. Maybe you are on the edge of realizing the truth. Because there is nothing more dangerous, more insidious, and more likely to cost you eternity than ignoring the battle in the shadows. The silent war I wage for your soul every single moment of every day. I'm only beginning my story. Welcome to the kingdom of darkness.